My name's Kevin Kalin. I've been working for Dutton Plumbing for 13 years now. I'm one of the senior technicians and experts within our company as far as sewer systems, plumbing, anything has to do with the home functioning system of plumbing.
My name is Scott, and I had experienced a plumbing problem on a late Sunday afternoon. Made a call to Dutton Plumbing, and they had their technician here within about 20 minutes to help decipher the problem.
So the reason why today the homeowner called us out is because they were having some problems with their sewage draining, and it ended up causing a backup within their entire home. And those type of problems are a very common thing. They can end up causing some detrimental issues to the home.
Dan showed up and spent nearly 4 hours here on a Sunday evening, night, trying to fix the problem. He did actually finish getting the problem fixed and the drain cleared, but discovered that we had bigger problems than we initially thought. It was my 50-year-old cast iron pipes were corroded and broken, and which left basically a cesspool of raw sewage underneath my downstairs bathroom. It's a problem that I had initially anticipated that I would fix myself, and decided against that with help of a family member, my wife namely. So hired Dutton to come in and replace all my piping, my sewer line, and all my cast iron underneath the home.
The cast iron that they had underneath the home, the material that they had was rotted out, ended out making a hole in the drainage system, which definitely caused some backups for them, and problem number one.
Dutton showed up on the promised day with a large crew of people and started in right away.
Upon arriving to our customer's home, we ended up doing an initial diagnosis and determining that the main drainage system within the home was not functioning correctly. Upon running a snake trying to clear out the drain system, we ended up able to clear it, so that way we can take our next step, is finding out why. What is the causes? Further investigation with the camera ended up showing that they had numerous other problems within the line, such as roots penetrating their main drain from the very beginning of their home until the street section. And that was definitely going to cause further issues for them moving forward for the future.
Answered all my questions, provided all the information I felt I needed. I felt comfortable with the information and what the fix was going to be and what it was going to consist of.
This specific home here, we determined that there was actually numerous issues that took place here. This home tends to be about 40 years old. Average house would be anywhere from as early as 20 years old, all the way to as high as 50 to 70 years old, really is where these main problems start to become an issue. So the initial path of replacement of a sewer line takes place with first locating the initial line within the home. Typically with a trenchless sewer replacement process, we will end up locating the first section to be excavated, which will be as close to the home as possible, where the transition takes place from the inside piping of the home to the outside piping. And then the next place that we would end up excavating is what we call the property line, which is usually close to a sidewalk or driveway, something towards the closest to the street as possible that we can end up connecting to before it goes underneath the main portion of the street. And we try to keep it as minimal as possible when we dig. We don't want to cause too much damage to the property. We don't want to cause too much headache or concern for our customers. It's very important to us that we maintain the customer's current home, if not better, when we're done. So we do our best to make sure we can save every little bit that we can and put back when we're done. So when we're digging this process, after we've exposed the pipes, we will end up removing those sections of piping. We have an entire truck dedicated to our trenchless equipment, and we end up using hydraulics to pull a new piping through the existing. And the way that process works is it's got basically what we call our bullet, which is our tip of our equipment that ends up going through the piece of pipe itself, and it's got two little shark fins on the end of it. And as this cable is pulling this pipe through, it breaks the old one out of the way and lays the brand new pipe in directly in place of the old one.
While the technicians and the plumbers were all here working, I was able to stand alongside and be out with them watching what they were doing, and the technology used to make these repairs and to find the problems and install all the pipe and the sewer line and all that was pretty amazing to watch it actually happening with minimal damage to the yard and to the house.
The beautiful benefits behind this are, not only do we not have to dig up the entire yard, but it's one solid piece of pipe that goes from the very beginning of the home all the way to the end of where we have dug for the last connection. So there's no joints, there's no way for roots to continue to penetrate through the piping system, and it's very, very flexible. So it allows for the piping to move a little bit with the earth as we're pulling it down. You know, we live in an earthquake country where there are earthquakes. The earth movement will allow this pipe to also move a little bit with the earth as well. So that allows for it to be able to withstand longevity and time to serve a good purpose for them for the long term. So with this hydraulic equipment, as the steel cable goes through the main pipe, and we have basically grabbers that'll grab the cable and pull it, and as it's pulling the cable up, the pipe is attached at the other end, and it pulls it through the existing piping system. Once that is done, we'll remove all the equipment, and then we connect up the new test connections and the clean outs for the home. So that way for the future, if there were to ever be another problem for any reason, there is an access point for the homeowner to be able to access their sewer system. So from there, we'll backfill and close up everything and make sure that we put the yard back to as close to the same as possible, if not exactly, and clean up our area completely to make sure that we leave the home spotless as possible.
Glad that I chose Dutton Plumbing to perform this work. I'm happy with the work that was performed. It was performed on time. The technicians and everybody that came here were very helpful and felt free to give me all the information regarding what was happening, and provided step-by-step information on how things were going and what was going to happen next. And based on this experience, I do plan to use Dutton Plumbing from here on out for any plumbing needs I have. And this is my first experience with Dutton Plumbing, and it will not be the last.